Yeah, I don't like it. It's like, let me just be me here and let me do what I'm gonna do. Don't give me looks.
Yeah.
Just you do you. I'm not worried about what you're doing.
You have to go in kind of like a vacuum, though, dude.
I'm sure
like you just gotta not look at anybody. Go do your workout. Stay in your lane and do your.
The funny thing is no one's probably thinking of me when I am there.
Exactly.
It's just I'm in my own head.
In your head,
stop
yeah.
looking at me.
No, but gyms are very judgmental. I mean, there's a second floor for the guys who really lift at some gyms. It's absurd. I mean, everyone's.
What do you mean?
No, there is. Yeah, the second floor. Everyone knows that.
It's just based
That's
on
where
something
Russillo
Mikey C
works out.
told you.
Yeah.
I just want to be the guy that sits in a sauna. But
Sauna's great.
But you can
You
only
can
do
be
it for
that
so
guy.
long.
I love
mean-
the sauna.
You are that guy.
I know, but it's just like, hey, I walk in there, I'm like immediately feeling it's just not my space. Like,
Are you a
there's-
full nude sauna guy or
no,
No, a towel.
You had me
Towel?
just
a big
no towel,
a
just
big towel.
just living it?
Hello,
Come on,
chaps.
no, you can't. Everyone's got to. You got to bring a towel into the sauna, or you can't just.
No.
Don't. A lot of old guys showing a lot of ass in the
Wow.
locker room.
You got to bring
I
a towel.
went to the sauna last week, saw a lot of dick.
Yeah.
A lot of dick and balls.
Come on.
and yeah.
And you sit on the wood next to him, and then you're like,
Whoa,
ah.
you sit
no,
where?
you
No,
gotta
the
The
put
balls
it-
guy wants to stand up the entire time, so he doesn't have dick and balls.
You
on
mean
the
the bench,
table.
right?
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
No,
On
thank you
the
for
bench
being
he
super
sits.
respectful.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro. You're right in my face.
Put it on
Telling
the
myself
poll,
it's so
please,
warm.
at LeBatard Show, Juju, sauna, or steam room. Do you wear a towel, or are you fully nude? Tony, did you say with a serious face the phrase gym intimidation?
Yeah, gym intimidation. It's a real thing,
Now
Dano.
is the you know how you like, in cold we know what happens.
What
Is it the
happens?
opposite in the sauna?
No.
I don't know.
It's sweaty.
I've never looked at anything but the ceiling in a sauna.
Because that'd be a reason to go.
If you're the guy who's naked in the sauna,
It makes
you're
you
the-
feel good.
but you're the
Look
guy
at
who's
me.
walking around the entire locker room naked, right? You're not just taking
wow,
the towel
you
off
have
once
me
you get
be-
into the
What are
sauna.
Doing?
I give
You
off
Stugotz,
confidence, I
why-
guess.
why
I'm just saying,
why-
if you're taking the towel off in the steam room or the sauna, you've never put a towel on. That's all I'm saying.
What I don't understand that
like Murph.
you're doing. I'm confused. Yes, thank you. It's just like Murph.
Funny to seven people.
It's not funny. I mean, it's unbelievably inside. But Murph, for those who don't know, was someone who looked and shaped and had the similar hues to Chris Cody, and therefore, because of this, his teeth were the color purple because of the wine. Stugotz made him into a person, I think he was this person, who was way too comfortable in the sauna, steam room, just prancing, sauntering around, totally comfortable with, yeah, I'm heavy, I'm a big guy, and what of it? But I don't know why he's making Chris Cody that, because Chris Cody is not that.
I'm not saying Chris Cody is that. I'm saying if you don't wear a towel in the steam room or the sauna, you're just not wearing a towel. Like you have walked from your locker to the steam room without a towel.
I go fully
Yeah.
clothed. Depending on whether or not I'm wearing nipple stickers, I'll take off the shirt. But I don't wear. No, if I'm wearing the nipple stickers, I leave
You
the shirt
don't go
on.
in the sauna?
No, I go in the sauna. I just keep the shirt on.
Mike Schur, thank you for being on with us.
Mike
we will
Schur.
get to a stat of the day in just a second, but can you give us sauna and steam room communal etiquette, please? Can you tell?
Please don't drag me into this.
You know what I don't like when I go in the sauna?
a bathhouse kind of guy.
Outside of like the nudity, which I'm not a fan of. It's the one dude that is stretching and just making like those noises in the sauna constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go in there now with noise canceling headphones. I just can't. It's so gross to me. I'm not gonna get it. That's not. No, it's
They're
not.
going to fry.
not
It's
big.
180 degrees. They're not meant for that.
No, it's all right. I got Bone Thugs. That's way hotter coming out of the speakers.
Mike Schur has no opinion on any of this. You've never been in a sauna. You can't tell us the proper way to do this.
I went to a gym for a while and I stopped because I don't like it. Gym intimidation.
Oh, you're so see, this guy gets it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I will say that there was when I was working in I have to do this in a way to avoid the "Look at Me, Louie" sound. When I was working in New York City at a television program, okay, got away with it.
No,
Computer's buffering.
Oh no! What television program?
Yeah, name it.
I'm not gonna say. I went to briefly. I went to there was an NBC gym in 30 Rock, and I went once. And the reason I only went once is I went in and I saw a fairly famous person,
Name names.
fully nude, 1 foot up on a bench, blow drying his undercarriage.
it was Offerman.
names.
It was Offerman. It was Nick
Oh,
Offerman.
this is 1999 or 2000 or something.
If we guess it, will you tell us?
Roker.
No. I'm not. No, I won't tell you.
You won't.
Just blow drying. So
Please be Stone Phillips.
but
Stones Phillips.
you're saying
Look, if it was Stone Phillips, don't say anything.
I don't know. I can't. You can't do that. You can't give me a binary yes or no because then that's a sneaky way to get to the answer. I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but
Can
he
we play
was
20
fully
questions?
nude, no towel, no t-shirt, no nothing, 1 foot up, hair dryer, like full power hair dryer, maybe
Oh, God,
I don't
please-
know,
please be
10
Brokaw.
inches from
Please be
his
Brokaw.
from his.
Blow drying my balls today.
It was, right? Brokaw?
I'm not going to say. There's nothing you can do to get me to say who this was. You can just guess all you want. You can fire as many guesses at me as you want. I'm not
Breaking
gonna give it
news
up.
is I'm blow drying my ball sack today. To Con Air.
let's do stat of the day.
Start of the day, start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day, it is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day, it is your start of the day.
Thank you for turning on original sound so I could hear the music today. Celtics lost a tough one last night to Stugotz's New York Knicks. Lost by 2 in double overtime. The
Did you say
final
New
shot
York
was
Decks?
very quickly tonight.
There it is. Was he doing vocal exercises as he was blow drying his balls?
Was not Tom Brokaw.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
The final shot was a quarter 3 taken by the great Al Horford. I think we all thought, including I'm guessing Stugotz, that ball was going in when the great Al Horford took that corner 3. Although you were also probably asleep at the time.
I wasn't actually, but in the postseason, he hits that shot out.
I had this realization watching that game, which was I can't remember a time I've seen Al Horford at the free throw line. And I've watched nearly every Celtics game. So I looked it up. The great Al Horford has played 1,542 minutes this year with only 19 free throws. He has taken 19 free throws in 1,500 minutes. There has never been, according to Basketball
He's
Reference,
too
a
busy
player.
setting screens. I mean,
I know. There's never been a player with more than 1,500 minutes played who shot less than 20 free throws. However, top 5 guys who have played more than 1,500 minutes and taken fewer than 30 free throws. Are you ready?
Oh, very
This list is
exciting.
amazing.
Very exciting.
OLI, Rasho Nesterovic.
wow, I'm writing these down. Nesta.
Number 5, Danny Ferry.
Oh, Danny.
Number 4, Steve Blake. Number 3, Bruce Bowen. Number 2, Matt Bonner. And number 1, PJ Tucker.
All names that make me smile.
An amazing list of just people who didn't go anywhere near the rim.
That's right.
Just if they were near the rim, something catastrophic had happened. Something.
Or they kicked it out. They just kicked it out. I'm not going up. I'm kicking this out to someone
Well,
else.
I don't think, for as much credit as Stugotz gives Al Horford around here, we were just talking about Kenneth Faried, and I don't think you could give that dude enough credit for totally changing his game. Al Horford used to be mid-range guy, grab it in the post, go get some foul shots, and he's like, never mind. I'll just drift out here and play until I'm 40.
Him and Brooke Lopez. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, and Jay Crowder, like all these guys, all these 6'8" power forward guys now are just corner 3 specialists. It's incredible. Brooke Lopez, the Bucks are so overwhelming right now. I don't know if anybody beats them, but one of the most horrifying aspects of playing them is that they have a 7'3" center who shoots like 44% from three. You think he's unstoppable from three? He's an enormous monster. He shouldn't be able to do that.
Horford was 6 of 10 against the Knicks from three. Tatum was 6 of 17.
Yeah.
How does that go for you late, Schur? Do you live and die with Celtics regular season games? Like, does that one hurt you because the Knicks went in there and beat Boston?
Yeah, that hurts. Also, they have to play Cleveland tonight on the second night of a back-to-back, and they're faltering a little bit. There's a lot of discontent on the Celtics text thread about Joe Mazzulla and about Tatum taking bad shots. But the amazing thing about that thread is we're all like, how is Tatum not finding Horford more? Like, in what universe does it make sense to say, how is Tatum not finding Horford more? But that's what's happening because that's a better shot at this point than Tatum going up in a contested three.
What is a bad shot for Tatum, though? I thought there weren't any more
Contested threes.
I mean, the way that we've changed all of this, yeah, I understand contested threes, but the guy.
Listen, you draw two, and Al's open in the corner. You get it to Al.
That's right.
But he
that's
also
right.
he makes it plenty. I mean, I don't know what he's shooting from three this year, but he makes it plenty.
He's not shooting what you think he's shooting. He's under 35%. I think in fact, he made last night. He may have gone under like 34%. He's one of the only guys on the team that can create his own threes. Like he can just come off a high screen and launch, and everybody else kind of needs to catch and shoot. But ever since he hit that three to win that game against Philly, he's been a little bit like, everybody clear out, let me do this. And that is not the way that team functions well and is beginning to annoy us.
He's under 35%, and Horford is 45% from three this year. Like when you're double, kick the ball to Al. I mean, he's been kicking it to guys forever, and now he wants it back, and give it to him back. I mean,
it would be wonderful if the Celtics broke apart because the 55 that Tatum got in the All-Star game went to his head.
I swear to God, that is the operating theory right now. The combination of the three-point shooting contest and him just like talk about uncontested threes in the All-Star game, that he now kind of something got screwed up. It's like guys in the home run derby or something trying to hit in the regular season. Look, there's 18 games left. It'll be fine. They'll work it out. But right now, they don't look anything like the team that got out to that great start. It now looks like Milwaukee and Denver are a decent bit better than they are. It's kind of a bummer.
Before we let you go here, because there is some Jon Stewart sound that I wanted to play from the weekend, and also some Russell Brand sound from Real Time with Bill Maher. But let's just give people a little clip here, because this back and forth Stugotz struck a lot of people over the weekend. Jon Stewart's The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV is basically a reincarnation of his Daily Show, with him taking up righteous causes late in life, really doing cool things with his platform. And he went into this interview so crazy prepared, Stugotz, that he embarrassed a leader in the United States. I've misplaced his name. It's an Oklahoma politician. Okay. And Jon Stewart embarrassed him, and play a clip from that because they're back and forth. It wasn't really contentious. And I think all of us agree with, we've got to fix the guns. And so this becomes less political than you think it is when people take sides on this stuff. I think most people would hear this and say, Jon Stewart did the right thing here.
Is voting a right?
It's a right for citizens, yes.
Do you have to do anything to do it?
Yes.
What do you have to do?
It depends on the state.
What do you have to do?
Sometimes you have to be at least 18 years old.
What do you have to do?
And in some places you have to have a government-issued ID.
What do you have to? You have to
be on the voter rolls?
Register. You have to register. So you have to register to a right. Is that an infringement?
Does the right to voting say shall not be infringed?
Oh, so this is just a semantic argument now.
No, it's not.
You believe voting rights can be infringed because it doesn't say specifically shall not be infringed.
Is it an infringement upon a 17-year-old's right to vote, since they don't have that right to vote?
No.
Oh, it's not an infringement on them?
No,
okay.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you're the one making the argument, not me. I'm saying even rights have responsibilities, and that within those responsibilities
yes.
and order. Otherwise, it's chaotic.
We'll play some more sound from that over the course of the show. But sure, what were your thoughts in general? It was about 8 or 9 minutes of just a bludgeoning.
Yeah, that's why John is so good at this. It's because he says what everybody, or not everybody, but he says what people are thinking. And he says it in a funny way. And it's very cathartic to hear him do that, because if you are on the side of, let's say, there should be more gun control in this country, every time you watch some horrific event play out or watch a politician scream and yell and say Second Amendment shall not be infringed, etc., you have a screaming argument with that person in your head where you say, this is insane. You still have to register to vote. You have to register to drive a car. Like, there's not an infringement on the liberty, blah, blah, blah. You play those things out in your head. And then John is just smart enough and funny enough and fast enough and has enough of a platform to where he can actually sit down in front of those people and say the things to them that you've been saying in your head for years, which is part of why he rose to such prominence and why he is so good at what he does. It's like he ends up being you live vicariously through him, and he lives out your fantasy, if you're on that side of the argument, of being able to just confront the people who make incoherent arguments about things and call them out on their incoherence.
Here's a great clip that kind of encapsulates what Mike is saying about Jon Stewart.
You want to ban drag show readings to children.
To minors, yes.
Why?
Why?
What are you protecting?
Why can we prohibit children from voting, those under 18 from voting?
Why are you
but
banning?
Also that.
Is that free speech? Are you infringing on that performer's free speech?
They can continue to exercise their free speech, just not in front of a child.
Why?
Because the government does have a responsibility to protect.
I'm sorry?
The government does have a responsibility in certain instances to
What's
protect
the
children.
leading cause of death amongst children in this country? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct, yes.
So what is it?
I'm presuming you're going to say it's firearms.
No, I'm not going to say it like it's an opinion. That's what it is. It's firearms. More than cancer, more than car accidents. And what you're telling me is you don't mind infringing free speech to protect children from this amorphous thing that you think of. But when it comes to children that have died, you don't give a flying fuck to stop that, because that shall not be infringed. That is hypocrisy at its highest order.
He's pissed off, Mike, and a lot of people are, right? You want to blame somebody when you're talking about school kids and you're talking about shootings and guns and our country having a problem no other country has. I don't know that there's a lot of people listening to that. And who sits down with Jon Stewart again? Who sits down opposite him the next time? That will never happen again.
Do you think
correct?
going into that, he was like, this is going to go great. Let's go. We got this.
I mean, he's done that plenty over the course of his career. I don't know how much success he's had. This is the first time that this show, which he's on season 2 already, has popped. A lot of people are just learning that Jon Stewart is basically doing Last Week Tonight and The Daily Show for Apple TV, because it hasn't had that social media traction. This is the first clip that let people know he's doing stuff. It's been hard to get eyes and attention to it.
Yeah, he's had a couple other things that have popped, not quite maybe at this level, because this is obviously one of the main issues, emotional issues facing the country.
Yeah, he's gone viral when he's speaking in front of Congress and speaking on the Senate steps.
Yeah, speaking about burn pits and about healthcare for folks who worked at the 9/11 site. But I think the answer to who sits down with him again is that I don't think there is any limit to the egos of various politicians who believe, like, who were watching that and thinking like, oh, that guy blew it. That guy from Oklahoma blew it. If I could sit down with him, I would win. So the answer is a lot more people will sit down with him, and a lot more people will get outflanked and out-argued the way that guy did, because John is just an incredibly smart guy, and he does his homework. I mean, there are, in England and places like that, there are people who hold that same position in the media who are the ones who were like, this is the tough interview that you have to go up against if you're a politician of a certain stripe. And I always watch those clips and I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they subjecting themselves to this? And I think the answer is ego. I think they're like, I've got it. I can take it. I can win this, and when I do, I'm going to be a hero. And then they just get trampled on. So I would imagine that's not the last clip like that we're going to see with John.
But isn't the fact that it's a state senator from Oklahoma indicative that like the people who are actually in power to change this stuff will never do this? You're never going to see Mitch McConnell on the other side of that chair.
Yeah, probably. There's the guys who are at the top, the actual like senators and stuff, are smart enough to avoid it because they know there's nothing in it for them. They already have, like, Ted Cruz is already a U.S. senator. He's never going to sit down with Jon Stewart because there's nothing in it for him at this point. All that can happen is he could get embarrassed. But that guy's probably got national or at least statewide aspirations. He probably wants to be the governor of Oklahoma, or he wants to go to Congress. And so he was like, this will raise my profile. And he was right, just not in the way that he wanted.
Mike, good seeing you. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, folks.
How long was that?
I think the grift is such for that party right now that he'll spin it into a win by just say the woke Hollywood media elitists are trying to get me again. I mean, how many times?
Well, he got him though.
How many times has Ted Cruz been embarrassed? How many times has Marjorie Taylor Greene been embarrassed? It doesn't really matter, especially when you're in a gerrymandered voting district.
By the way, Derek Carr looks like he's going to the Saints.
Oh, things are happening.
The move before the move.
Oh, things are happening.
Go to the bathroom.
Things
Jets are going to end up with no
are
one.
happening. Bad things.
This is huge for the Dolphins, honestly.
What?
The Jets get really good if I don't want them to get Derek Carr.
I imagine the Jets are passing on Carr because they know
s-
something else is happening. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Or did Derek Carr COB the Jets? And the Jets are like, we got to...
Or the Jets are just screwing it up again.
The Saints now have the best quarterback situation in that division.
Oof.
Ooh,
I saw a story over the weekend that the Bucks are considering
if they get him, so.
the Bucks are considering either Baker or Drew Lock to be their free agent acquisition at the quarterback position.
That is terrible.
Well, they have Kyle Trask.
I mean, come on.
They need to bring in a veteran to battle with Trask and hold the
Bring Jameis
and
back.
keep the seat warm for
Jameis.
whoever they draft.
Do you think Geno Smith is going to lead to a renaissance in teams saying, "Oh, that guy's been terrible for most of his career, but I still think there's something there."
Jameis Winston could totally be the next Geno Smith.
It's
That dude,
interesting what's going on with
I
Geno,
still
though.
think he can be good.
I do too, but it's interesting to Whittingham's question and his point, I guess, no. And even the Seahawks, who saw it right in front of their eyes, are still saying they're going to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
And they haven't signed Geno yet, right? To the contract that he probably deserves. Like they're...
Is it smarter for them to let him walk?
I don't
The
know.
Seahawks?
Yeah.
Probably not, only because they're not drafting high enough. Well, are they? Yeah, they have Denver's pick, so they're in the top 5.
Like, that could be the best we saw of Geno Smith,
Right.
right? Like, that could have been, and now he's...
The peak?
Yes.
I'm not doing
it
this
was
again.
it was the best we've ever seen of Geno Smith.
Oh, by far.
I'm not certain he can sustain that. Neither are the Seahawks, and I don't blame them. Why would you?
Does Tampa go out and get him? Do they try and get somebody like Mike White?
I mean, Carolina's going to be in all these same conversations as well.
They're going to do the same thing. Frank Reich is going to do the same thing he's done for the last 7 years. Just kick the tires on another old quarterback that's like a little bit outside of the bubble.
You don't want to go for Ben DiNucci?
I mean,
I told you
superstar.
guys.
Paxton Lynch was grittying this weekend, I saw.
I'm back on DiCucci. I've babyface turn.
Yeah.
He's good.
I'm
Big
in on
game.
him. When he's
Yeah.
not just dropping the ball for no apparent reason, there's something there.
All right, you guys are dying to talk football, and
Well, damn, big news is happening right now.
yeah, there is big news, and we'll get to whether Stugotz, or you've gotten to whether Stugotz will get his heart broken here at the end, or if he will get Aaron Rodgers. I saw some interesting financial stats, Stugotz, on the quarterbacks who make the big money in the league, and outside of Mahomes, there are a lot of dollars tied up in some quarterbacks that are awfully iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is the best of them, but a lot of Russell Wilson's
He's not iffy.
on the list, or Dak Prescott's, or quarterbacks that you feel okay about. But if you insist on talking about football, then the 2-hour show, NFL Live, from the Combine, because people need their fixes, Stugotz.
Yep.
And they need to see guys out there running and jumping and being measured, and you've got Will Levis showing up and saying, the other quarterbacks don't want to throw. I'm going to throw, though. And they ask him, why are you choosing to throw? And he's like, because I've got a cannon.
I want that guy. I mean,
But he's also afraid of milk.
I don't know about
No, wait. You keep doing this. You keep doing this, and it's irresponsible.
he had the greatest combine, Anthony Richardson, in the history of combines. Did he not?
Well, let's get to that in a second. Before we get to Anthony Richardson, though,
I want to get there quickly.
I'm
tired of Will Levis.
No one mentioned any. I don't know what you just did there, but you
I'm
just
just trying to
Levis,
get
and
to
you're
Anthony
like, he
Richardson.
had-
I'll tell you what I did there.
Talk
I'm
like
thinking
Yoda.
about the guy I would rather have. The guy who says I have a cannon, or the guy who calls himself Cam Jackson.
okay.
Like,
well,
I'm just wondering which guy I would rather have based on no other information
all
than
right,
that. And I
Stugotz,
think I want the guy who has a cannon.
Stugotz, I know you want to do the show that you want to do, okay?
I love
but you
football.
just trampled in all of that
I
analysis.
realize what I did.
Do you? Because I don't think you know
No,
what
I
you did.
do. I'm a bit tired. I thought we were on to Richardson already. We were still on
No, but it's
Levis.
what
I
you
jumped to
no,
Richardson.
We're going to milk.
It's what you did to
Yeah.
Chris Cody.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Or what you guys did to Jacob Infante, not believing his tweet. He's a guy. He's a reporter, and he says that Will Levis is deathly afraid of milk, to the point that he will scream in terror at even the sight of it.
that. That can't be real.
I just want it to be real so bad. And this guy's verified. He's got 30,000 followers. He works. He covers the team like a. That's true.
Mhm.
But hey, what do you want from me? I can't not look at that story.
Better sourcing
No,
is what I would
it-
say. Is what I want from
Got
you.
a blue check
more,
mark.
more responsible sourcing.
So mean to Jacob Infante.
Will Levis does have questionable food, culinary situations. Let's call them, where he eats bananas whole with the peel on it, and he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Is this all a rib? Is Will Levis messing with us?
This guy did not pay for his blue check mark, by the way.
Yes, is the answer to your.
He's a lead NFL analyst. I mean, works for me.
It's at least it's not we can at least try to investigate. How does this work, Mike? You're a reporter now. I have to get a second source on how do I confirm this?
He's a lead NFL analyst for whom? Because if you could be a lead NFL
NBC
analyst,
City Gridiron.
He's a Bears writer for the Gridiron.
all right, go back into his history, see if he's broken
for-
anything.
He was tweeting yesterday just about stuff with
no
the
one
NFL.
else, and no one else is
Chris,
tweeting about this.
Chris Cody,
report.
what is the report that he screams when he sees milk? Is the report?
Yes, Dan, that's exactly the report.
Yeah.
He sees milk and he just starts screaming.
And that it's
You don't-
impeded his life.
Am I the only one here that wants this to be true?
That is concerning.
I would love to see.
You're the only one who would believe it to be true.
Not
thing
the
has,
only one.
This thing's got hundreds of retweets.
There you go.
Okay, this is not good journalism. None of it. None of it is good.
I'm not going to dismiss it, but I would dig a little deeper.
Chris
to
is
see-
Honestly,
trying,
just
at
as
least,
reckless. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just completely dismissing it.
Yeah.
I would say that's equally as reckless as what I'm doing.
What
I'm
reporting have you done on this?
I'm using common sense. This is
He just saw milk.
That was him seeing milk.
yes. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate the explained
trying to help.
impersonation. Yes, rarely you're trying to help.
I mean, Dan, were you there? Did you, watch them work out? Did you see the milk situation? Chris
I
is just
ha-
relaying.
Gallophobia.
I have
Gallophobia is what it's
Really?
called. Gallophobia.
We need to get Jacob on.
What?
That's
No,
it.
we do not.
Why not?
What is gallophobia?
The fear of milk.
It's just, but is it? It would not be a fear that makes you scream when you see milk.
It's also known as lactophobia, which makes sense.
Chris Cody.
I'm gonna DM him and say, "Did this really happen?"
Please do. And I'm gonna search on YouTube gallophobia, and I want to just watch videos of people freaking out over milk.
I don't know if double sourcing is asking the same person twice.
I think that's how it works.
This is not good reporting by you, but since Stugotz wants to talk about Anthony Richardson, Stugotz,
Oh, he's good.
his vertical leap was 40 and a half inches. It broke the record for a quarterback, 5 inches higher than Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
He's very fast, and I think this is the part with all of it that is going to make him skyrocket in the draft. He's as big as Von Miller. He's Derrick Henry's size.
Playing quarterback.
Now, I did watch him at Florida, and he's not very accurate.
Yeah. Now there was
That's
Josh
the problem,
Allen.
guys. You guys
Yes.
are watching his tape at Florida. Throw the tape out. College is over with. We're talking about the NFL. We're talking about grown-ass men, and he's one of them.
What's happened here? Why? What kind of analysis?
No,
is
because
that?
everyone falls for this.
He's one of them.
No, everyone does this. He's not accurate. He only played 10 games in college. I mean, I'm a Gator expert. I
Also
go to
an
at least 2 to
indictment on
3
Anthony
games.
Richardson.
No, I said back in October, I told
did,
Tony
he did.
he was the best college quarterback in the land. And
Because
he
you
is.
saw the 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
I did.
he
Yeah,
had
it
like
was
2
great.
games
We
to
all
start
did.
the season.
I was sold right there. I mean, the guy's good, but we did this to Josh Allen. We've done it to others. We do this thing where, he wasn't accurate in college and he can't be therefore can't be accurate in the pros. And then it happened with Josh Allen. And it's happened before because I don't think Eli Manning was terribly accurate in college as
No, he
well,
was.
and then became an
No, he-
accurate
no, I
quarterback.
think he
You are
was
not
I
accurate.
think you need to look that up, guys.
No, at
I mean,
Mississippi Stugotz.
I would check it out.
Lamar Jackson was inaccurate in college.
One overall pick.
There are 2 or 3 that guys who Josh Allen and Lamar, and there's a third, maybe it was Herbert, who were inaccurate college quarterbacks, quarterbacks that had to be fixed mechanically and physically. But what you're talking about here, Stugotz, because obviously, if all of the sports are evolving into bigger, stronger, faster, why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because Eli was very accurate at Mississippi.
I mean, not relative to today's standards. He was 62.4% his senior year, only 58% his junior
But Josh
year.
Allen was a quarterback in college who completed fewer than he had incompleted, correct?
I mean, Anthony Richardson last year completed less than half his passes in 4 of Florida's games. His final collegiate game was against Florida State. He went 9 of 27. This is a whole order of magnitude of inaccurate.
Did they not watch him play? Because he's going to skyrocket,
But-
and
but
it's the idea
Josh
now we
Allen-
can fix all of them.
Josh Allen, is going to now be because for a while there, when Baker went number 1 overall, when Kyler Murray went number 1 overall, and there was sort of this emphasis on your college stats rather than your measurables, there was this thinking that, all right, the position is changing and your height and weight doesn't matter. And then Josh Allen goes from being a very unfavored draft prospect. There are a lot of analysts that thought that Buffalo was doing something stupid, that thought that the Chargers are doing something stupid in drafting Justin Herbert just because he's 6'6", and all of a sudden now we've gone completely the other way, which really just goes to show we have no idea what the fuck we're doing analyzing quarterbacks.
Whoa, unnecessary. But I understand your hostility. We're all doing it, and we're not
We
doing
have no
it particularly
idea. We
well.
have no idea.
Jury's out on Herbert still.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Billy. And in the middle of it, you're going to go ahead and throw a 5'10" guy into, I don't know if you guys saw this, DeJuan Jones. Did you see Ohio State? He ran a 5'2", this person who is 6'8", 374 pounds, and doesn't look fat to me. It's not like the 6'8", 374 pounds, and here are the love handle. No. It's like, oh my God, that guy's just 374, and he's going to play at that weight, and he looks like he carries it well.
The lineman running the 40 is my favorite part of Combine Weekend. I know, and for me, it's a sporting event that's on in the background of a sports bar that's inexplicably left the NFL Network on for 2 months. But that portion of it, watching big men be faster than anyone that you know, is astounding. It like every time, he's 6'6", he's 340 pounds, he runs the 40 in 5.03. That's insanity.
Well, you tell me, though, where we're headed when 6'8", 374 is running 5'3", and there's not a lot of fat on this person.
He does carry it very, very well. I'm looking at him right now. That's crazy.
Who carries 374 well? Since when? When? What's in the league that's carrying 374 well?
Like Tyron Smith carried his weight well, but I'm not certain how much he weighed. I don't think it was 374.
What an insanity.
Tyron Smith, his listed weight was only 312. So Tyron Smith plus 60 pounds.
But no fat.
But are those numbers right? Or do they come from the guy who was claiming that Levis is scared of milk?
I'm on this.
Is this person that they call him? He's got some Thanos-related nickname.
Well, the Mountain from Game of Thrones at his peak weighed 450 pounds. What?
Carried it pretty well.
He did. He's recently lost 110 pounds.
You wouldn't say that Andre the Giant carried it well, would you?
No, absolutely not.
Brock Lesnar carries it well.
Yes.
Oh, but Brock Lesnar is 100 pounds less than this.
See, I'd say Brock's probably pushing 300.
Yeah, but Andre the Giant was.
Yeah, I mean, he's a giant.
Big John Studd carried it well, right?
Yes, Big John Studd did
Carried it very well.
Did carry
Brock
it well.
right now is listed at 287.
Again, 100 pounds heavier. 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah, Brock's put together.
He's only 287.
They're listing The Rock at 260. That's not 375.
Anthony Richardson, though,
He's put together. John Jones, maybe not.
the disconnect, we'll get to John Jones in a second because I don't think that we should undersell in sports, Stugotz. We love competition, we love excellence, and we have loved around here both mixed martial arts and boxing. John Jones going to the heavyweight division after 3 years off and making it look easy when he's already like the best I've ever seen. And it's against a legitimate contender is crazy. It's crazy what a menace that person is.
Well, is it crazy because you have said pound for pound you think he's the best, but is it crazy because he took the 3 years off?
It's 3 years off and damage to his body and mind and public. I mean, you're supposed to fade. And call me an idiot, but I would assume that going up to that weight class would be something that would look harder than that to him. But he's I mean, I think it's not prisoner of the moment to say that guy is unlike anybody we've ever seen in fighting.
No, I don't think so, Dan. I think he caught a break in the fact that Dana said that we'll never see Francis Ngannou in the UFC, because I think a fight between Ngannou and a 3-year layoff of John Jones would be a really interesting fight. We saw John come in at 248, the heaviest he's ever weighed, to a fight against a guy who looks like an Adonis, who one of these guys that's just absolutely shredded at 245 pounds, and he looks like an animal. And it's like, oh, how do you stop this guy? Very easily, John did in 2 minutes, right? The biggest strike, the most damaging strike that Cyril Gane got on John Jones was a kick to the nuts 8 seconds in. That was it. After that, John threw him to the ground, put him in a guillotine that missed, that gave him an opportunity to get another guillotine that tapped him out in literally 2 minutes. It was one of the most incredible things we've ever seen from a guy who's been 3 years off, has had a tumultuous personal life with domestic violence charges, with a whole bunch of stuff, changing camps, going up a weight class. Like, this is something we've kind of never seen before, and he just did it with tremendous ease.
It makes you wonder what the last 3 years would have looked like if he didn't get into so much trouble. Because right now, he's already called by many as the greatest of all time.
This cemented it. Like, this right here cemented him being the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. There is no debate. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
There's a George St. Pierre debate.
No.
Always.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Ariel Helwani would
Or
Ariel's
Anderson
also
Silva.
from Montreal, and he's a little bit biased on that.
Wow.
Whoa.
Ariel's like a brother to me.
Whoa.
Ariel's like a brother to me. Ariel's like a brother.
Are you like a brother to him?
I think so. I don't think that he dispute this right here. What he did, going up a weight class and dominating 2 weight classes now, and being the champ in both of those after a 3-year layoff and all the shit that he's had to go through.
He's had the steroid controversy too, which is what
100%.
Ariel always holds over his head when he's doing the greatest of all time.
And he's talked to Chael about it, and Chael said, I was juiced to the gills, and this guy pushed me into the wall, into the fence, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's way more juiced than I am.
It's wild because he looks a little older. Like his celebrations before, the dancing.
His body.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, the
it's
3
just like-
years wore on him. He was living hard.
But yet he can still get it done in the fight. Like the pre and
When
post
he did
stuff,
when
you're
he did
looking
the cartwheel.
That
it's
was
like,
dangerous.
not
Dangerous
as crisp.
game.
Not as crisp.
right.
as
That's
it
why
used
it's
to
like
look.
you're looking at that stuff. It's like, oh no, this might not
jiggly.
go
But
well.
he's also like 60 pounds heavier.
Literally.
Yeah.
He's lost a step on the cartwheel, though.
But not
Yeah.
in the fight though.
He
That's
didn't
why he
even
could.
have to. I wanted to see
He
like
didn't
the
break a
elbows.
sweat.
He didn't
He didn't break a
have
sweat.
to worry about the cardio or anything like that. That's how good he was. That he comes in, his version of Damon Wayans and Great White Hype, with a little pudgy stomach, and doesn't break a sweat against the best contender out there. And I know they set up Stipe, and I guess there's
Stipe and Jones will be out, I think, in July, they said. But if he did this to Gane, we've already seen Stipe kind of lose his touch. If he can just continue to do this and dominate yet another weight class and have a run of 3, 4, 5 fights that he's just dominating everybody. There's really nobody else in heavyweight. The same way that there was a level at light heavyweight where he's I'm good. Like, nobody is going to challenge me in this division. I can't do anything. So now he's going to do that at heavyweight, and we're talking about the 2 biggest divisions in the UFC, and he's dominated both of them. I mean, he's the GOAT. Period.
I enjoyed the card. The people watching was really good. I was really eavesdropping, trying to read lips between Mark Wahlberg and Mario Lopez, and then I saw Mario Lopez got moved out of his seat, and they brought in Travis Barker and Courtney. I wonder how that all happened. Did Mario have to be asked to move? Was he in the wrong seats? We saw Tom Brady out there with Mike Evans. And I don't know if you've seen all the clips of Jake Gyllenhaal filming Roadhouse.
I have seen that. So Conor McGregor's in that as well, right? So
McGregor looks so.
Can we talk
right
about Conor for a second?
What is happening?
Tony and I are debating on I think it's just
I think I have a reckless speculation here.
I'm with you.
I think I have a reckless speculation. If you could play it for me, just so I'm covered.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Look, not because I've done it, because I haven't. You can see in my face that I haven't. I know people that have done HGH before. And when you do HGH, your face, that's why I had to play it.
Very reckless.
To me, it's just like facelifts that he's
your
getting.
face starts to get rounded and squared in a shape that does not, seem natural. And that's what I saw from Conor. A very squared shape.
He looks like Dorian Tyrell in The Mask.
Billy.
It's bad.
Billy, I saw you look at Tony one time. I don't know whether he said, I think I'm quoting him when I say, he said, they're grown-ass men and he's one of them.
He said that, yeah.
What does that mean?
I haven't the slightest.
What does that mean as a compliment?
That was his analysis of a player, was throw out anything you've ever seen. He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why we're confused about that. In the NFL, you have to be a grown-ass man to play.
That's
period.
What everyone in the NFL is.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So then how do you determine
There's guys that are not grown-ass men that try to be in the NFL and they get kicked out. I'm talking Anthony Richardson is a grown-ass man and he's going to make something happen. That's it.
Mike, why are you and Chris Cody laughing?
He pulled up the picture of the guy from The Mask on his computer. He looks just like Conor.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
What are you doing? I'm just picturing.
There's always time for one last kiss.